Hey guys, it's me, Sparks, and I'm back with another video after quite a hefty time off out of doing races because I had wheel issues. We're back for the Psgl Cup round 5, and it's USA. As you can see on your screen right now, we're in 3rd. We've had quite a couple of shaky races. It didn't help that I couldn't participate in some of them, but the boys have still done a good job to keep us in 3rd, and we're kind of just really trying to solidify 3rd place at the moment. But we're going into qualifying now. I've not really the most of qualifying didn't save, and this is my best lap, so we're just going to watch the last half of it. You could say I wasn't really feeling exactly confident, but then a few hours before the race I really started to find my pace and find my feet, so that was quite a miracle. However, this track's very prone to penalties, as I'm sure many of you will know, so we just really want to get a top 5, a top 3 in the race would have been quite handy, but we just have to see what we can do. We come across the line on our 2nd lap, and we do a 1:30.1. I was quite happy with that. My PB was a low 0.9 in practice without slip, but you know, it's the real thing, you can't compare everything. However, we go to start our final lap, only 20 seconds left, so we've really just timed it just perfect. Coming around the final corner, trying to get the best exit possible to start our flying lap. As you can see, again, a lot of time on my Dela as the last corner was awful. Coming into turn 1, brake as late as you can, try and just clip the apex, but we did not do that very well. We hit it a bit too hard and lose about a 1/10.5 due to that, so I thought let's just wing it through these S's, see how much we can gain. We gave it absolutely everything. We're gaining quite a bit of time here. We're probably gaining about half a 10 throughout that whole sequence, but then here I was pushing too hard and I just lost it all. So yeah, that was pretty much the end of qualifying, and as you can see, if we're about to see where we've qualified 5th and 6th for CRG, so not bad. Pole was a 0.9 by Vaster, very good lap from him. But it's quite a good starting point. The race pace was looking quite good, and usually people focus a bit too much in qualifying, to say the least, from recent things and hyping themselves up. However, I was looking more forward to the race, just trying to get a clean start and not get involved in any chaos, because we know how chaotic league racing can be and everybody thinks they can win it in the first corner when you really can't. But yeah, the strategy was soft to medium, as it's quite a low deg track, just high temps. Don't really want to run much fuel. There's my lovely setup, as you can all see. I don't really care anymore, as it's the end of the game. I'm sure a lot of you will be happy that I'm saying it's the end of the game, as a lot of people do not like this. However, we're going to start the race. There was a formation lap, but we did skip it. 5 red lights, and away we go for round 5 of the USA Grand Prix. We get a decent start. I mean, we don't really get beat by anyone, but we've got Houston in front of us, so we can't overtake Kim. Louis out on the inside. We've got 3 wide. We've got Matthew on our inside, who we're going to really have to make sure we don't hit him as he is our teammate. We've also got Casper and him fighting out. We're just going to try and keep it clean and not get hit by the back. It looks like Casper's just been hit off, and it looks like a pretty decent start from us. Nothing's really went bad. So yeah, a good start after all. We've kept our nose clean. Now we just need to keep our head down, push and trying to make our way up the grid. Currently the DRS is really going to stop that, but we just need to save as much DRS. As you can see, going into lap 4 at this hairpin, going into straight, we're still 100% ERS, so I wasn't really pushing, I was just managing ERS. But I quickly found out Louis was struggling with, I don't know if it was just sheer pace or tyre temps, but he was really having a hard time with keeping that car on track and keeping it on the rails, to say the least. But yeah, just trying to save ERS, save fuel, not destroy the tyres, try not going into first gear, all the usual stuff. This corner especially, we're not allowed to extend it that much, but it kind of just happens naturally. The car understeers. Everybody pits there, but I decided to stay out. I wanted to stretch this stint a little longer, because when if I pit behind them, you're bound to lose a second, just because how the pit lane works, and the closing gaps and everything. So I stayed out one more lap. I had quite a good knowledge that I was going to get undercut, but I would prefer fresher tyres than everyone, because pitting in lap 5 and 6 is very early, and 7 is probably like the latest you want to go. So I pit in 7, and we are going to have 2 lap fresher tyres than the people who pit in 5, which is quite a lot round here, considering how high the tyre wear can be. So let's see where we're going to rejoin. We ideally want to be in front of Just and all that, but we come out of the pits. There's Tim, there's Thyman, there's Just. Will we be able to get Thyman? We try and get it down the inside. It's a really tight angle, and we just lose it in the back end. That angle really didn't help, and it looks like we've lost about 3 positions in the pit stop phase there, maybe even more, and that's just really damaged our race pretty much. Now we're going to have to get by these cars, and I knew I was quicker than them. I could feel I wasn't even pushing, and I was easily keeping up, so I knew I could get by them. But as per, just saving a bit of ERS, just letting them destroy your tyres, and yeah, you can see Louis off. He's obviously trying to get accustomed to this no line. But yeah, he qualified 3rd, and it's not really went well for his race, but that's unlucky to say the least for Louis. But up ahead, as you can see, they're fighting, and this is a car who's a pit stop down, theoretically, as he's not made his pit stop. So these cars are crucial to get by. If you can't get by these, it can really lose your race. If you lose DRS, it can really just, it can destroy everything. So I'm right up his bum, you could say, and trying to get by him, but there's really no way to get by. I don't really want to ruin my race by just sending one down the inside, so we just sit behind them for these last 2 corners. That's so Roy doesn't send one, as there's really no point. But this is just so painful to watch. I mean, you can't do anything. The dirt air, even though he's in older tyres, like, you can't pass. It's near impossible. But coming into turn 1, we're going to make a little bit of a dive. It was a very half-hearted, it was awful to say the least, but he left the door open a lot, and kind of just handed us a position, so I'm quite, I was very grateful for that, to say the least, because I wouldn't have been able to go by him. But that has made us lose DRS to Just. As you can see in the top left in a minute, 1.1 seconds, so we do not have DRS, and at this point I was really wanting to get back in it, because DRS is the most crucial thing within league racing. So we need to hope by the time we get onto this straight we see that DRS flick in the bottom right. Will we be able to have it? We come out of it, and yes, we do. That was a big relief, to say the least. DRS, as I always say, is very important in this game, and if you don't have it, unless you're miles quicker, it's going to be very, very difficult to catch anyone. So coming on to lap 17 now, we've got our teammate Blizzard up ahead fighting, and there's cars who've not made pit stops getting in the way and everything, and it's just a bit of a mess up front. However, I think Tim, that was, hit the back of Blizzard, because Blizzard got hit by someone, and Tim has lost part of his end plate. I think he must have at least orange damage the way he's driving. But now it's one of those other moves that it's crucial to get by him, because if we don't get by him, Just is just going to absolutely bomb off. So we turn up the engine, we've got his teammate behind us, he's going to be looking very frisky for this move. We go down the inside, shift up the gears, try and get good traction, and it looks like we've made it stick. Is he going to fight back? I don't think he will, as he's got wing damage. It's probably smart not to, but it looks like he's going to get in between our slipstream. He's going to try and go round the outside. How late will he brake? He actually brakes slightly later than me, but I think we're going to be able to hold it in this inside, and yes we do, just with the better tyres and more front wing theoretically. So quite an easy defence and easy overtake there. However, 10 laps to go, and we see Just making another move on an ECDF1 driver. I think this is another driver who hasn't made a pit stop. So these drivers, they just really get in the way. I mean, they have every right to fight, but it's so annoying having to fight them, because as you can see, they're just holding me up. I try and go round outside here, but it's never going to work. He's not going to concede that. I wait for a better opportunity, and I see him go wide a bit here, so I slip it down the inside. I'll be able to make it round the outside. We leave a bit of room. We leave quite a lot of room, actually. It was very generous. And we make that move stick. Coming on to lap 19, however, we're making good grounds considering what happened in the pit stop phase and getting undercut by everyone. But the next target is to get Just. I noticed he was struggling quite a lot, and I had a lot more pace than him. So I was very determined to get by him. Let's say the least. It was a very easy overtake. I don't think he exactly fought me, but we go round down the inside even on the straight, and we get past him before the breaking point. So next goal really is now just to catch Blizzard. They've got DRS, so I'm really going to have to push, and we can't afford Blizzard to back off and lose DRS to Jonathan, I think that is. So as you can see, the gap is 1.1 seconds. We've really just got to push everything here. We've got to get this DRS, and we could have a possible podium in our hands. At this point, it was looking like a podium was possible, but obviously we've got to put the pieces together and hope it all goes well. But we really wring the neck out of the car that lap, and we just get within the DRS. I think it must have been about 9/10 at this point, so that is very good, and that's probably very crucial for our race to stick within DRS of Blizzard and hopefully get past them eventually. Come on to lap 22 though, we're firmly in his DRS and we're really caught up. If you look behind us in the top left, we've got Gil behind us who's in the alternate strategy, and alternate strategies are usually the best strategy around every track, and I can tell you this track is one of the best for it. And if you're starting 11th, 12th, 13th, you got a clean start, you've got a very good chance of even winning this race. The alternate strategy is just so much better. If you think about it, I'm in nearly 50% wear, they'll be in about 15% with quicker tyres, they have less fuel. It's just everything to dream for, the alternate strategy, so there's really no point in fighting them. I kind of just let them by. You can just see how quick he is out of traction zones in general. Now I've got Aero behind me, and there's no point in fighting it. I was just at a sitting duck. As I said, the alt strategy is extremely OP, so I kind of just let it happen. Nothing really I could have done. I'm just going to try and stick with them, even though it's going to be very hard. But it all happens. Now we're following our teammate as per. It's lap 24, 4 laps to go, and our teammate sends one down, Jonathan. I see this as an opportunity. I think, okay, I can get him down the inside. I go to the inside, oh, and he just covers it off. That could have ended badly, and that was a very close moment. However, we're closing in here. As you can see, his back of his car is flashing. That means he's running out of ERS. He's not deploying anymore. I think about ascend. I brake half-heartedly. He goes a little bit deep. I think this is an opportunity, so I try and take it round outside. Doesn't look like it's going to work, and I take it for another day. But then I just tap the back of him, which nearly sends him off. That gives Roy an opportunity. I still defend the inside, but he still takes it. We're going to try and hang it round the outside, but we got a huge tank slapper next to it, and it looks like Roy's going to take that position. I'm going to try and fight it, but there's nothing I can do, and that moment was probably the most crucial moment of the race. But that's really left us in a awkward position, to say the least, because now Roy's up ahead, and I was very confident I had better pace than him. I had better pace than nearly everyone, I felt, and that's not even trying to be cocky. I genuinely just felt like I was very consistent. But we send one down the inside of Jonathan. I think we're going to be able to make it stick, and yeah, we make it stick. Jonathan's race pace by the end of here wasn't exactly good compared to the others. However, he has done exceptionally well. Nothing taken off him. But onto the last lap, I've got to go for a move here. It's all or nothing at this point. So I see Roy. I go for the outside as he defends the inside. We'll be able to make it stick. We can't. He defends extremely well, and I think that's it. Unless we can send one down the inside of turn 15, I think this is, or turn 16. Very famous corner for sending it downside. He defends partially. I go for it, but it's just way too far back, and it looks like nothing's going to be able to be made of that move. And I think we're just going to have to sit behind and go for 6th. We're coming around the last 2 corners. We're going to make sure we don't get any warnings. Come around the second last corner. Basta Racer wins the race. Very well deserved race. He dominated it throughout the whole race, so well done to him. Come around the final corner, and it's going to be 6th place for the USA Grand Prix. I don't know whether I should be happy about that or sad about that. I felt there was a lot more pace within it to get maybe even 4th and 5th or 3rd and 4th for CRG at least, but there's a lot more potential, I feel. But I didn't save up to the very finish, but you can see on your screen this was the final classifications. I don't think this is the actual official ones, but from the race it was. I hope you've enjoyed this. Hopefully there'll be more of this in 2020. There may not be any more of this, because 2020 F1 leagues will start up in 2 months, a month and a half-ish. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll be back for more very soon. Maybe even Sunday and Monday, as I've got races coming up then. Hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a like, and I'll see you next time.